Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Taste Test, where every Saturday I try the weird, the wonderful, and the limited edition. Today, we are starting a mini-series within the grand scheme of the series, Seattle 3 Part 1. The third time I've been to Seattle since I've started this show, and since I decided to just lug everything around with me in that city. I take my laptop and microphone and all the cords and cables that I could possibly need, and not an extra cord. No extra cords. Razor thin edge that we're working with. But I do enjoy doing these kind of like on the road versions with like different backgrounds and just kind of showing you what I find while I go traveling. Because if you have been following the channel for a while, you might know. I think I mentioned it. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. Last year, went on a bunch of trips. Really enjoyed them. Had a great time on all of them. And I've really been bit by the travel bug. And we're already off on one trip this year. And I just enjoy doing these videos for you. So it's the third time I've been in Seattle. The first time I went to Seattle in March of last year went pretty well. I got all those videos up and out. The second time I went to Seattle, kind of failed and faltered on that one. I just didn't get it done the way I needed to get it done so that I could be, done with it. So this time we're going back to the way I did the first one. We're going to make sure that it gets done. Today, we are going to try some fun items that I found both at what I'm hoping is pronounced Ujimaya, but if I'm pronouncing it wrong and it's not intentional, I'm just a dummy. And a couple things that I found outside of that store. One of them at the on the street leading up to the Mariners Field, T-Mobile Park, that's what it's called. And one of them I found at a candy store. So let's try those. If that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to see what else I grabbed in Seattle, you'll be able to check those videos out the next 2 Saturdays. And you can scroll down, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos, and you'll be able to stay up on Taste Test every Saturday. Suggestions, leave them down in the comments below, and you might see them on a future episode of Taste Test. Okay, the 4 items that we have today are cinnamon toast caramel corn. This was found on the street, like by Lumen Field. We got off of the International District and walked down to try some things and just see what was happening before the Mariners game. Didn't go to the Mariners game. Just walked over there to see what was happening, and then got a burger, got this, turned around and left. The burger, very good. Don't have it with me because I ate it 3 days ago. But this, I kind of forgot that I bought. It basically went into the backpack I was carrying, and then gone. It just gone from my memory, and now it's here. So we're going to try this. We're also going to try some bacon on the go. Amped Up Riffs Smokehouse Meats and Sauces Raspberry Chipotle Bacon. See, to give you a little bit better view of it. It's very reflective on the camera. So there you go. We're going to try that. We're going to try 2 items that I found at Ujimaya that are kind of similar flavor styles. We have strawberry. I didn't even realize I put together raspberry and raspberry. Whoops. Strawberry cookie things. Strawberry cream sandwich. Has a nice little bird there. Excited about that. And last but not least in this episode, we're going to try some raspberry wafers. So I accidentally flavor profiled these pretty spot on. So we'll give these a whirl. Let's start with the caramel corn. We're going to end with the bacon because I think that one's going to be the messiest. But we'll start with this caramel corn here. This was a $7 bag at like a random stand that we saw on the way down. Grabbed it. Excited about it. I love caramel corn, kettle corn. Kettle corn. I like kettle corn. Caramel corn like is fine, but kettle corn, that is where it's at. Where it's not at is watching a grown man struggle with opening a bag of kettle corn. Oh, for the love. Thank you. So like I said, I got cinnamon toast. Smells pretty good. There's a hint of cinnamon. The kettle corn's definitely the more powerful scent, which is fine. The cinnamon toast, it's in there a little bit. The cinnamon toast taste isn't really there, but here's the bright. Oh, it's there. It's a faint aftertaste. Here's the bright side, though. Dynamite kettle corn. It doesn't even matter. Even if it's a miss from like the flavor profile you're looking for, still good kettle corn. So who cares? Oh, it's good kettle corn. Oh my god, that's so good. Such good kettle corn. Unfortunately, not a ton of the cinnamon toast flavor. I was hoping for more of a like pronounced flavor of it. So if you are interested in the caramel corn, or the kettle corn, excuse me. I keep saying caramel corn. If you're interested in the kettle corn, and you're thinking maybe the cinnamon toast, maybe just go for the regular. Maybe maybe try it if it's a different batch. Maybe it came out a little bit better. But this one, it's like a solid 8 out of 10 that just isn't as good as it probably should be for what it's trying to be. But when you have such a solid base, it kind of like doesn't matter. They're kind of, it's interesting. It's a bit of the opposite of some of the Mountain Dew energy flavors, where like the base isn't very good, and then like the flavor that they put on top of it also isn't very good, and it's kind of just a terrible product overall. This has a solid base that you would hope would be extra good with a fun flavor on top of it. But even without that, you still have that solid base. So there you go. All right, let's move on to, we'll go strawberry, and then we'll go raspberry. We'll try some strawberry cream cookies. Oh. Well, we're committed at this point. Oh, interesting. Little packaging in here. You got kind of like the way the Milanos do it a little bit. These are very large. There's like 4. This was the worst. This is the worst way I've ever opened a package. And you got to watch it. It smells real good. Really good scent here. These are large. I'm trying to get the package to balance. Large cookie with some filling. These are really interesting. And before I get too much further, I need to correct myself. It is not a cookie. It says sandwich, which I said cookie because that's kind of what I think of. It says sandwich, which is accurate because when you bite into it, it has the flavor texture, or not the flavor texture. It has the texture of like a Ritz cracker. It's much like crunchier and crumbier than a cookie. I think it works really well. This is a very interesting snack. I'm glad I picked this up. This is this is really good. The strawberry really comes through. It's a great strawberry flavor. Even when I opened the package, you got a nice waft of the strawberry. Even, putting it up to my mouth before taking a bite, still getting that strawberry in there. That is a solid snack. I like that a lot. They're bigger than I anticipated they would be. But it doesn't like lose any flavor or anything. But that is solid. We'll put that back in the package. And we will move on to the wafers. We've had wafers on the channel before. These are raspberry yogurt, bite-size, cream-filled wafer cookies. Now, this one actually does say cookies on the package before I confuse myself. I should have called these sandwiches, but good joke. I've had wafers on the channel before from Ujimaya and maybe even in some of the Japan crate. The usual knock against them is they don't have enough flavor for me, but I also have always qualified that as like I have a very Americanized flavor palette, and like that's how it is, That's what I'm working with. So my expectations, I gotta temper them a little bit. I'm excited because I like the idea of raspberry. I'm a little hesitant because the wafers haven't been super flavorful in the past, but we're pitching that out the window, okay? We're going in with a fresh mindset. I'm not getting a lot of raspberry. I'm not getting that. I'm not really actually getting much of a scent out of these at all. I can smell the other two, but this one, like... Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. They were good and then they weren't. The first bite, when I crunched into it, was like a nice flavor explosion. It tasted like, okay, here's like a raspberry treat. But then there's like kind of a sour aftertaste that I'm guessing is the yogurt that like kicks in and kind of ruins the whole experience. That was a shift. I was ready to proclaim these great, and then like a second waft came in, and I'm like, no, thank you, no, thank you. All right, there you go. These are number one in Italy. For those of you who are curious, I do like the packaging. I like that they're little bite-sized cubes. I think that's a positive. I always like to compliment stuff that's like reasonable to eat on this show. I understand that I'm a very small market type person of like, yes, I film this on YouTube or for YouTube. If you could make it the smallest version of it possible, that'd really help me. And they're like, you're like one person out of 80 bajillion that buys this. What do we care? Anyway, so there is that. Last but not least, we have some bacon on the go amped up riffs. Now, according to The Beam, we would find these, not this specific flavor, but we would find this, I believe, brand at Maverick gas stations. But we haven't seen them in a while. And it was kind of weird because we stopped at a Maverick gas station, got some gas. I bought a Mountain Dew, obviously. Then we went to Seattle. We're at the candy store at the Westlake Mall, I think is correct. And we see these. And so I decided to pick them up, or pick one up. I just bought the one. So we are going to we're going to give it a whirl here. We got raspberry chipotle, and we'll try that out here. Okay, I'll do like just a little bit. Really bacony. Really, really bacony. It's not like a negative necessarily, but like I don't smell really much of the raspberry. I don't know how much raspberry is going to cut through bacon, but it's definitely bacon. We're eating bacon here. Oh, microwave. Oh, for amped up flavor. Oh. Did you know that if you read the instructions, you might glean some information from them? Fun thought. This one's okay. I'm not really getting much chipotle. I'm not really getting any raspberry. I understand that it's just kind of seasoned like that. Maybe that's kind of on the inside here. I can maybe pull a little off. But it's mostly just bacon, which I guess isn't the worst thing. I like these bacon strips, but I am disappointed that this flavor isn't more pronounced. Like, more so than the kettle corn, which, you know, has a really, really solid base. I just like kettle corn. This is something that I feel is actually more disappointing because that flavor isn't really there. So, not great. So, there you go. All right. That is 4 items that I found in Seattle. We got 2 more episodes. You do the math and tell me how many items in total you think I will have through this little mini series within a grander series. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if any of that struck your fancy, or maybe you can tell me if you didn't like it. Don't tell me that you didn't like me. Just tell me that you didn't like the items. Okay? Just do that. While you're down there in the comments section, be sure to let me know of anything you'd like to see on the channel. And you can also let me know You can subscribe. It's the other thing that I was going to say. You can subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. I will be back next week with another episode of Taste Test with more items from Seattle. Hopefully, we'll see you there. And bon appetit. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Oop, go over here.